Hi there, it's June 28th, and this is my weekly, maybe a little bit more than that, vlog about the micro budget movie making experience. This past week started off on a relative high note when the gentleman who I'm hoping is going to shoot the movie replied to, I don't know, oh yeah, because so a week ago Friday, I sent him a rather long text, which I talked about in the last video. And so he replied to that basically saying, yes, I'm interested. I still can't commit. Do you have some dates? And then I had mentioned about paying him something which would free him up from taking work off. And I don't know if it would replace his wages or exactly what. We didn't get into all that. So I sent him the information I had and some other little odds and ends, blah, blah, blah. Have not heard back from him, but as I told him when I first replied, I said, you have potentially made my day, because really everything, not to put pressure on him, and I don't know if he'll ever see this, but a lot of things really hinge on him saying yes, and not yes to I can do the whole 10 or 11 or 12-day shoot, but yes, I am available. I'll help you light it. I'll help you work on it as much as I can, because once that happens, then I can pretty much commit to buying the camera and the lens. In fact, this past week I was looking at some eBay options, some gently used, some new options, and kind of putting together the package of what I'm going to need. As I told him, it's probably going to be around $5,000 ish worth of equipment. And I think I've mentioned this before, about $5,000 in the actual hard expenses of travel and food and gas and blah, blah, blah for everyone who is going to be in the movie and working on it. And so then that leaves $5,000 ish in my imaginary funds to pay for him and some other people. So I'm just constantly, not literally every day, but it feels like every day, redoing the math either in my head or on a spreadsheet or something. Then we had a little problem, which our air conditioner in our house completely went out. And even though those two are separated, some of the financing comes from the same place. So that's unfortunate. And we're probably going to get a new furnace also. So that's going to not be cheap. The other news is that I have been working on a pitch deck, and I can't remember at what or where I was. Maybe I should bring that up and show it. Maybe not. Maybe on the next video I will. So I've sent that out to get some feedback, just some people from a Facebook group, a couple of different groups, and a couple of other people. I've got one little bit of feedback from someone who isn't in the movie business at all, but I thought he would be a good person to sort of, maybe someone who has seen other pitch decks for other opportunities, not movies. He had just a little bit of feedback, really nothing great, but what feedback he did have was good. But I haven't heard back from anyone else yet. It's a very simple deck, and I don't know if that's going to go anywhere, bring in any money or not. Certainly, as I said in the pitch deck, I'm not counting on anyone investing in this. If I don't get any investments, I'm still going to make the movie. But if I do, it's going to upgrade the equipment and crew and probably make it look a little better, et cetera, et cetera. I went through the script just a little bit and just tweaked a couple lines of dialogue. One of them, for a very practical reason, is that while it doesn't seem like it would be that hard to find an apartment to shoot in for one or two of the scenes, I've determined that it will be even easier if we can just shoot in a house, in a living room or a bedroom, since I've scouted 4 or 5 already. So I rewrote a little bit of dialogue to explain that, which can easily be written differently or taken out or whatever. So I did that. I worked on the Google Sheet, which is pretty cool. I showed a version of that earlier where you can sort and everything. And so I'm just sort of refining that even more, trying to get an idea of the locations and matching them up with the actual place where I think I'm going to shoot. One big thing that did not get resolved at all was the person's house who I hope to shoot a pretty good chunk of the movie, a lot of the exteriors, and at least maybe 50%, 60% of the interiors, waiting to hear back from her that I can go back and really take a serious look around, take a lot more pictures, maybe even some measurements, maybe, and probably with the breakdown in hand so I can say, okay, this room will work for this room will work for that. So I've tentatively done that, but not ironclad. Heard, I think, from another possible crew person who actually read the script and thought it was good and excited about working on it if that opportunity arises. I think that's pretty much it for the week. So, on balance, it's been a good week. It hasn't quite been a breakthrough week that I was hoping that it would be, but signs are still looking positive. I talked with one of my sons this morning, and he had some questions about the movie, which was good. We talked a little bit about a few things that I need to do. In fact, probably after I finish recording this, I will do them. I got my debit card and I got a credit card also for Mindful Entertainment. But other than that, I think that is the week that was. Maybe I will. Well, because our air conditioner went out, that sort of precluded much filming this past week because it was super hot and I didn't even spend 2 of my nights here. That's neither here nor there. Thanks for watching. If you are watching, if you're not, you're never going to hear me say, go make a movie yourself, and check back with me next week.